If you're in production in the animation industry, you plan. It is literally our job to plan, schedule, be organized, make reports, and study likely outcomes based on charts that we have on Shotgun. As such, we're particularly familiar with Murphy's Law, an idiom that reminds us that anything that can go wrong will go wrong. You know, like when it's a Friday night and you have 3 major deliveries that you're trying to get out, and then the network goes down. Being in production, of course, there's the rote advice of preparing for Murphy's Law. We're trying to. Getting it all in writing, extra clear communication, setting up reminders, due diligence, etc. This is all fair, and I would still encourage this. For this video, however, I want to get us thinking about something rather controversial when it comes to Murphy's Law and production: luck. For this, I'm turning to 2 women who are experts in completely different fields. One is Annie Duke, a corporate consultant and former world poker champion, and the other is Twyla Tharp, an Emmy and Tony Award-winning choreographer. Both Tharp and Duke are quick to respond to our discomfort, or sometimes disbelief, on luck having any major effect on our work. Duke says in her book, Thinking in Bets, we are uncomfortable with the idea that luck plays a significant role in our lives. We recognize the existence of luck, but we resist the idea that, despite our best efforts, things might not work out the way we want. Tharp fairly echoes Duke, saying, accepting the role of chance in our lives suggests that our own creations and triumphs are not entirely our own, and that in some way we are undeserving of our success. I say, get over it. This is how the world works. In creative endeavors, luck is a skill. I think those of us in production engage with luck on 2 kinds of levels in our day-to-day work. One, of course, is on the floor with our teams. To this first point, Tharp says, your creative endeavors can never be thoroughly mapped out ahead of time. You have to allow for the suddenly altered landscape, the change of plan, the accidental spark, and you have to see it as a stroke of luck rather than a disturbance of your perfect scheme. Habitually creative people are, in E.B. White's phrase, prepared to be lucky. The second way we engage with luck is on a more meta level with our own growth in our careers. We need to have the insight and maturity to not only recognize the role of luck, we need to also be careful not to use it only as an excuse for our failures. Duke reminds us that to reach our long-term goals, we have to improve at sorting out when the unfolding future has something to teach us and when to close the feedback loop. And the first step to doing this well is in recognizing that things sometimes happen because of another form of uncertainty: luck. So where do we go from here? It seems a conundrum indeed that we are literally being paid to both plan on some level and yet also resign ourselves to the fact that there is an unpredictable factor of luck in there somewhere. I think one thing that helps me is to remember that in animation, we are working with artists all day, every day. Yes, we have templates and walk cycles, and still, these are creative people and they are doing creative work. They are not merely numbers and quotas. Tharp says it is tempting to rein in the unruliness of the creative process, especially at the start. Planning lets you impose order on the chaotic process of making something new, but when it's taken too far, you get locked into a status quo, and creative thinking is all about breaking free from the status quo, even from one you made yourself. That's why it's vital to know the difference between good planning and too much planning. Similarly, production is not merely providing numbers and tracking quotas. We have to allow for our own creativity in how we approach a given problem and give ourselves and our teams space to let the creative work happen. Duke gets the last word here, reminding us, outcomes are rarely the result of our decision quality alone or chance alone, and outcome quality is not a perfect indicator of influence of luck or skill. Whether it is a poker hand, an auto accident, a football call, a trial outcome, or a business success, there are elements of luck and skill in virtually any outcome.